Hi, welcome back to the Drunk Linux User. I'm Len. I am the Drunk Linux User. Sorry, I think I just hit my microphone. I can always edit that out now, can't I? We did that in the last video. Okay, today a very, very short video in comparison. Yeah, I thought so. And it's kind of like a debunking a myth and enforcing one at the same time. There's a lot of reasons why people come over to Linux, and one of the reasons is that they feel that it doesn't have viruses like Windows does, and that is almost exactly true. It's not 100% true, but it's real close. Okay. Are there some viruses out there? Yes. The biggest problem that you're going to probably run across eventually is, and this is going to apply to any system. It doesn't matter if it's going to be Linux, Mac, or what's that other one? Windows. And it's going to be JavaScript intrusions through your web browser, going to a website that maybe intentionally or unintentionally has some bad JavaScript in there, and all of a sudden it's infiltrating your browser and getting your keystrokes, and oh, the world's coming to an end, and I'm really sorry to bring all this bad stuff on you all at once. Does that mean that Linux doesn't have any antivirus? No, quite the contrary, actually. There's a really good website here that explains why you don't need to use antivirus in your home system. All these links will be in the description, of course. Just look through that real quick. I like this one that says, popularity or lack of. That's generally pretty true. Linux only holds about 2.5%, I think, of the actual market share of software being used by home users. Now, when you get into the corporate setting and you're dealing with servers, that's a whole different ballgame, and that's a whole different set of software too. This is a really good web page. It goes into why it can actually be dangerous for you to have this on here. But see, this also holds true for Windows, so you can't really say that it's one size fits all kind of thing. The next one is from the website TechMint, and it talks about, and this was actually done in 2019, but it's still pretty relevant today. There are a few of these that have actually stopped making antivirus software for Linux. So, but ClamAV and in association with ClamTK are really nice. I've used them before just to test them out and see how they work, and they work really, really well. They don't bog down the system, and but they're not on demand. So if you're expecting to find something that's going to be catching stuff in the wild as it happens, probably not going to be this one. All right, but it's free and it does a really good job. The next two are for are like rootkit hunters and cleaners. I have not used CHK rootkit. I installed it once and I couldn't get it to work because I think I was just a little bit ignorant. But Rootkit Hunter was something that worked really, really well for me. And so if you're going to look for rootkits, give this one a shot. It was pretty simple actually to work with. It is command line based. Don't freak out about that. It's just follow the instructions and it'll dig right into your system and try to help you out. Komodo has an antivirus for Linux. Sophos has one for Linux. Bitdefender, well, yes and no. I haven't used this. I have used Bitdefender in Windows, but I have not used it in Linux. I don't know about that. From my understanding, FProt is no longer helping the Linux community with antivirus software, so we won't worry about that. Okay. Now, if you want to load up your web browser with some helpful extensions to try to help keep a little bit of your privacy. There's one called uBlock Origin. This is really great. I put it on all my browsers, period. It's the first thing I do. This helps block a lot of the advertisements that you see on web pages, so your web pages load really, really fast. It also does some do not tracking. You can disable all the JavaScript by clicking this little thing over here on the far right, and it'll reload the page, and you'll see that the page might look a little bit different. Some of the things that you play with on a website, the real fancy flashy stuff just might not show. And if you want to keep it that way, you just click this little lock. I don't care. We'll just go ahead and leave it alone. I don't come here that often, actually. The next one that I use is Decentralize, and this is pretty much just install and let it run. It's really good. You can turn it off, though, if you want to, and then reload the page and see what it does. But what it's basically doing is it's trying to keep you from having a lot of tracking code work and follow you from one site to another. That's really nice. This is controversial, but I like Watt, and it works well with DuckDuckGo, so it also works with Google. And so Watt can give you give you some information about the page you're on anyway. But if it's green, it's been reported as safe. If it's yellow, have some caution. If it's red, it'll actually try to block you from going to the page. So you might get a web page that says that Watt has blocked this page. There are a couple others. I also install Google Analytics opt-out extension, and that's just to keep Google from tracking me everywhere. Sorry, Google. It's my life. Okay. And then there are different shell integrations that you can use to make it look prettier on your web browser. See, for example, I'm not on Plasma anymore. I don't need this. I just remove it. Okay. Remove. It's now gone. Really, I don't need the shell integration either because I'm using XFCE right now. So I'm going to remove that. And as you can see, it's gone. All right. So, and there's some other things. Badger's another one. It's just, the more you start loading this stuff up, though, I think you really start getting some performance hits on your web browser. Also, this isn't to say that I'm like this real big conspiracy theorist. I believe in conspiracies that are real. But it's all about, I mentioned this before about using Linux. It's a personal choice. I chose this because I don't feel like I should be the product. I should be the thing that all of these tech companies are selling to learn about where I live, what I buy, things I like to do, how much beer I drink. It's true. And there's so many other things that, before it was like if I wanted the product, I would seek it out and I would buy it. I don't want to get hit with tons of email. I don't want to get all these flashing pop-ups and all this other crap on my web browser. I'm paying for internet service, and I'm paying my own electricity, and I'm paying for things like VPNs and software that I choose to use. Okay, they don't have, in my opinion, sorry about that. They don't have, in my opinion, the right, okay, to basically take everything, including perhaps even my medical information, and sell that to an insurance company. It's none of their business. If I want my information sent out, I will release a form, right? Okay. So that's just why I do what I do. So if you're interested in getting antivirus software because you've just come from Mac or Windows and you have been indoctrinated into thinking that you have to have it, and you just want to give it a try, okay? Go ahead and try Clam. I would suggest using Clam, and then the Clam TK. That way you actually have like a little window that you can work with, and you don't have to worry about using command line. It's real simple, real simple. So getting on to VPNs now, and VPNs are very helpful. They keep the information from your computer through your internet service provider to eventually, after skipping around an awful lot, the different nodes and servers to get to the web page you want to get. It keeps it private. Okay, it even gives out a false VPN number. I'm gonna show you a couple here, and there's actually 3. I'm not exactly sure where the other one went to. I think I accidentally clicked it closed. No, I know what's going on. Okay, so I've tried Proton VPN. It was pretty fast, it really was, but it seemed like I kept getting kicked off an awful lot, and it was good though. This is by the people who do Proton Mail. It's not cheap, but it's not, it's not through the moon. It's all right. I'm not going to get into the pricing issues and all this other stuff, but it works good. It really does. But for me, and it just could be my geographic location, I could not keep a steady connection. That's my issue. Okay. The one I'm going to see if I can find this real quick, because I can't believe I got rid of it. So I'm sure you've probably heard of NordVPN, and one of my sons uses this, and I think I probably, that was the one I just got rid of. All right. My son swears by this, and he thinks it's great, and it works perfect for him, and he does a lot of online work, and he also does an awful lot of online goofing around. So, yes, I've been paying attention. But Nord is another good one. It's reasonably fast for Linux. And again, depending on where you live, it's going to depend on your speed. The one that I use, however, is ExpressVPN. I'm not going to log into my account because you get to see all my stuff. But for me, where I live, it's fast. It is about the same price as Proton or Nord, which is to say it's about $100 a year. Okay, that sounds like a lot of money, but it also keeps the man in the middle kind of at bay too. So you don't have I'm not worried so much about my ISP, okay, tracking where I'm going, because I don't do anything bad. Most of my stuff is looking at the news, looking at Linux, trying to find something to watch online when I run out of stuff at home, or just some of my some of the things that I have to do online. But this helps to keep somebody who's trying to sneak in on, for example, an ISP's backbone, to find out where you're going, capture keystrokes, to get your banking information, things like that. This just helps. It just helps. And I think it's just kind of a small price to pay. It's about $9 something a month then over 12 months for this. So it's for peace of mind, at least so far, because I've had this for about 1.5 years now. I haven't had any issues. And as far as viruses go, I've had, since I started using this virtually full time in 2014, I've had a big goose egg of viruses on Linux. None, not one. When I used to use Mac, I had, unfortunately, one, which made me have to reinstall from scratch. So it happens. I've been really fortunate with Windows, I think, because I was so, and I still am so paranoid about using Windows, that I make sure that I've got all the bells and whistles and extensions for the browser and VPN and what seems to work well for me is Bitdefender. None of these companies are paying me yet. Are you listening, guys? Okay, yet. So I'm not even going to try to tell you which one's the best one to get. I can tell you the ones that have been listed as being reliable or things that I have personally used that I find, beneficial. And if you are coming from a different platform, such as Windows, I know that it's kind of, you feel a little bit naked for a while because you're sitting there thinking, I don't have protection. I need protection. I need a raincoat or something. You don't really need it. And, there is a way of installing your home folder in Linux so that it's encrypted. And so even if somebody does come in, your documents and your pictures and all that other stuff, they're fine. They're safe. Is everything or anything 100% foolproof? No. I don't trust anything 100%. I don't. I try to use common sense and reason to make sure that I'm not doing something stupid. So, if I can pass one thing along to you that I have been trying to help other people with over the years is, just because it looks flashy and shiny or it's got this great, really cool thing that they're offering for free, doesn't mean that you should actually go there. That's a lot of reasons why I use Watt, is because a lot of things have been reported as being bad, and it may have saved me from getting a bad virus or something, or some kind of JavaScript thing on my computer. And sometimes there are things that are just too good to be true. So just keep that in mind. All right, so done with that. My computer, my replacement computer, the packing label has been made, so I'm guessing that the thing's already boxed up and just waiting for pickup. I don't know where it's coming from. I do know that it's coming through Amazon. I created an account at Amazon only to get this computer as soon as I can put the computer through its paces, and it goes through that phase. What is it? About 60 days or something like that. If you don't like this computer, you can send it back thing. I'll just delete the account. I'm not a big Amazon fan either. I like eBay. I like eBay a lot. So, eBay and I are good friends, and several of the sellers there have benefited as well. So, it's all about being careful. And that's what this whole particular episode was about. Just be careful and, enjoy using Linux and a lot of the freedoms that it gives you. And, one of the freedoms is it gives you a chance to kind of relax. And as you heard me say before, if I've really, really screwed up on something, as long as I've backed up, I can reinstall. I'm back up and running. I have everything back in place, including all my programs, in 2 hours. Okay? 2 hours. Try doing that with Windows. Okay? All right. So here we go. Don't drive drunk. Don't drink and drive. Don't buy, as we were talking about just recently, crap from eBay or Amazon that you don't need just because you are inebriated or whatever gets you through the night. And bottoms up. Later, dudes. Refreshing adult beverages. I love it.